Hey you guys, this is Sit Paint and Play. We're gonna do a little bit of a drive-in chat on my way home from school, and I made up a quick list sitting outside my class, like 5-10 minutes. So I came up with an idea whenever I was doing something else. I was like, so every once in a while I have issues with what I need to bring if I'm going to do a battle report or something like that. So I thought I would come up with a list. I would just get a generalized, if my phone falls, I apologize. I'm not holding it in any way. It's literally just leaning up against something in my car. It's got a rubber case, so hopefully it shouldn't fall. But, like, what should you bring whenever you're facing each army? So, I guess what I'm going to do is just give you a brief overview, try and come up with a name, and kind of get the video series started in a way. So first things first, I'm just going to call the series, What Would You Bring? The basic idea, like I said, is just to give you an idea of what you're going to be up against facing other armies and what you potentially might want to bring. So let's get started with listing like some of the strengths and weaknesses of some of the armies. So first things first, Space Marines, everyone's favorite. Space Marines, they're tough. They're really tough, actually. Even their basic troop choice has a super good armor save. Terminators have a 2+ save. Their vehicles are tough. The vehicles are super tough. You're looking at Land Raiders, which are, you can basically throw a crap load of models in, run them across the field. Those are awesome. They're putting down a lot of shots with things like twin-linked heavy bolters and things like that. Also the tactical Marines, they have the rapid fire. So Space Marines are a good tough army. They're a good starter army. They're good against most people. So we'll go ahead and move on to Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines, you can ally them with demons. I'll go over them in a little bit. The Chaos Space Marines typically have a lot more psychic abilities, I think I've noticed. They have that. They have really good melee. Depending on what kind of a Space Marine army you're running, like you have... sorry, I'm getting on the highway here. Like if you have lots of Nurgle in your army, you're going to have lots of Feel No Pain. If you have Khorne, you're going to have the bonus of your charge distance and the rampage and stuff like that. If you have a Slaanesh army, they're going to have higher initiative. So it kind of depends on how you run them that way. But I know that they have a lot of melee. I've noticed a lot of their characters are melee based. So they pretty much have a lot of the same vehicles that the Space Marines do, minus like some of the artillery pieces, anti-aircraft pieces. They're kind of a more basic army, to be perfectly honest. But those are some of their things. Let's move on down to Tau. Tau are going to be weak. They're super weak in melee. They have a really high ballistic skill. They're usually very quick because of their jetpacks and hover vehicles. Geez, what else do I write down? Ballistics. They get off a lot of shots, but they're not like super heavy armor penetration shots. It's usually like 4 or 5+, a lot of their weapons. So, but they're monstrous creatures like their or their monstrous machines, like their Riptide and stuff like that, like the Ion Accelerator. It's got an AP1 on it, so it pretty much can nail through anything. So it kind of depends on what they bring. Let's go on to demons. Demons are like Chaos Space Marines. Depends on what you bring. If you got Nurgle, you got Feel No Pain. You know, Khorne, you got the charge bonus distance, stuff like that. Lots of melee. They're either going to be psychic or melee. They really don't have any guns or very many shooty things. You know, you have the, you know, Khorne Skull Cannon and a few other things like that. But they're going to be a more melee type army with psychic support. So you're going to have things like that. Like the Tzeentch Flamers are going to be kind of like your distance. What else? Most of your shooting is going to come from like your heavy machinery, like your I don't know, like your claw, looks like a spider, cannon on his chest, that guy. Yeah, can't remember his name. Defiler? Maybe? I don't know. He looks like a Defiler. I don't know. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head while I'm driving. So a lot of those guys, but you're gonna have a lot of small, usually more horde type guys, like your Bloodletters and things like that. So let's see, Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Tau, Demons. Your Eldar and Dark Eldar are gonna be fast, very, very fast. They have a lot of powerful weapons, a lot of AP. They might not get off a lot of shots, but they're quick, so they can duck back into cover and stuff like that. But the shots that they do get off usually are very strong. So, God, I hope I don't film myself getting into a wreck. So, lots of powerful, strong shots from those guys, both the Eldar and the Dark Eldar. They have their D weapons. Typically, they're going to be on jet bikes, things like that. So, fast, heavy shots. You got your Astra Militarum. Super weak troop choices, lots and lots of shots, not very many guaranteed hits. They also have their tanks to back them up. So it depends on whether they're running foot soldiers or you know, an armored list. So I guess, you know, that's how that changes that. And so their tanks are going to be super duper strong, lots of shots downrange. Depends on what they're using, obviously. If they're just using just like a basic battle cannon, or if they're going to use like an auto gun or an auto cannon or something like that instead. The shots can be pretty devastating. Lots of lace cannons and things along those lines. So their armor's super strong. Their foot soldiers, not so much. Lots of shots compared to not very many shots, but very powerful compared to powerful shots, but not very many. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? So, all those guys. Who else am I missing? Oh, Orcs. Orcs and Tyranids. Orcs and Tyranids are more or less one and the same. You're both looking at horde armies, so lots and lots of models. Lots and lots of melee. The shooting that they do have is usually pretty crappy. They usually rely on using their smaller guys, like your Orc Boys, or your, I don't know, like your Hormigons and Termagants, or whatever, to like kind of move forward, provide that cover save, you know, be a distraction, be an annoyance, take objectives, and then you're going to have your like your monstrous creatures or your large vehicles or whatever, like your I don't know, like your Death Dread or things like that. I mean, they're kind of one and the same, but not really. I'll expand on that in a little bit. I'll just stick with Orcs for now. So like with the Orcs, you're usually somewhat relying on your bigger things to get in and do melee combat, but you're going to use a lot of your fast stuff, like your bikes, things like that. You're wanting to get usually your Warlord and stuff like that in there, because even though it puts them at risk, they're usually really, 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 like, kind of over the top strong. So, that's kind of important to note on the Orcs. So, that's with them. But then, in the same light, Tyranids are going to be like that. Like demons, I didn't mention this earlier, demons can spawn just like Tyranids can spawn. So they can put more down, more troop choices, and stay hordy, even if you knock off a bunch of their guys. So the Tyranids, they're usually depending on their larger creatures to get in there and do the real damage, like your Carnifexes, your warriors. Maybe a Harpy if you were into the whole flyer thing. So yeah, I'm just doing all the general main basis armies. I know, and I need to make a list for as cheap as it gets for Adeptus Mechanicus. I just don't know a lot about them, so I've been it just seems like I don't want to get into it and then have, kind of screw you guys over. And I'm not going to go over them because I don't really know any of their models at the top of my head. So those are just the general basic army. Let's see: Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Tau, both the Eldar, Orcs, Tyranids, Astra Militarum. I think that covers all of them. So that's just to do a quick recap. We got Space Marines are pretty much all over good. Chaos Space Marines are good, better in close combat and psychic. Tau are good shooty, weak in melee, or just weak in general, I guess. You're looking at your Eldar, they're fast, super strong weapons, but they're not very tough. Your Orcs and your Tyranids are hordy, and they're super strong in melee, not very good shooting. The Tyranids do have a lot of good psychic abilities. What else am I missing? Demons are going to be lots of psychic abilities and lots of melee. So it kind of depends, like Chaos Space Marines, Demons, how you roll your army, or, run your army or whatever. So that's just the first part of this video. That's this video series. So I thought I would just kind of do a general brief overview, and then we'll get back to it. Alright guys? So anyways, hope you guys have a good day. I do not condone filming yourself while driving. I just did it because it was in my head and it was fresh and I wanted to do it now. And later tonight I'm not going to have time, and later this week I'm definitely not going to have time because I work 2 12s or like 2 11-ishes closer to this weekend, and tomorrow I have class and I have to get all my homework done before the weekend and stuff. So anyways, I thought I'd just do it while it was fresh in my head, and hopefully this video series can be a little bit more entertaining. I hope to make it more fun, maybe give you some good ideas on what you need to bring whenever you're facing another army. Say like with Space Marines, let's say hypothetically, I'll just give you a hypothetical situation real quick. So let's say you're playing Orcs. Orcs are good in melee combat. So you're going to want some like melee troops, like assault troops or something like that, or maybe like an assault dreadnought, potentially. But you're also going to want to have a lot of shots flying down range with these guys. Because if you can kill them before they get to you, then that's a positive thing. So you want a few things like laser cannons for trucks and assault marines, so you can battle the melee orcs. And then you're also going to want to have like tactical marines with heavy bolters and flamers, so that you can knock out their masses before they really get to you. And then like on your vehicles, you're going to want things like hurricane bolters for your land raiders, or you're going to want things that are going to put a lot of shots down range that are going to knock them out fast before they really get into close combat and get on a higher ground than you whenever you're the road. Just make sure it was the road, not my car. Yeah, so you don't want them to get on a higher ground than you. So that's just the start of this video series. I hope you guys like the idea. I will start working on it and hopefully have the very first video, probably focusing on Space Marines, up by, I don't know, either late next week. Or maybe this weekend if I have time. Like I said, I got two 11-ish hour shifts, and then we got church, and I got class tomorrow, and we have a church class that night, and I have a church class tonight. So it's it's just, oh my god, we're just running, and I got homework I gotta do tomorrow. So anyways, I'll leave my personal crap out of it. So like I said, I'll get those videos up as soon as possible, and I will see you guys soon. Be safe whenever you're driving out there, and I'll talk to you later.